Well, hello everyone, and welcome to FranTastic InSights, where we provide insights from some of the coolest people in franchising. My name is Alesia Visconti. I am the president and CEO of FranServe and Franchise Dictionary magazine. Now, FranServe is the world's largest franchise consulting organization, and our mission is very simple. We are here to help change people's lives through franchise ownership. And we do that through a network of incredible franchisors and franchise consultants who help their candidates explore franchise opportunities. Today, I'm excited to have Vinny and Diane Baratta with Mobility City. So Vinny and Diane, welcome to the show.
Thank you for having us.
Thank you.
I'd love it if you could just share with our audience a little bit about Mobility City, what it does and your role with the company and what makes it unique in its categories.
Well, thank you very much, Alesia, for the introduction. Mobility City is a company that specializes in repair, maintenance, service, sales, and rentals of home medical equipment, specifically mobility equipment, wheelchairs, mobility scooters, hospital beds, rollating walkers, and so on. I've been in the industry for 38 years, and I found a big need for service. Everything is being sold, or a lot of stuff is being sold through the internet today. And, there's a bit of a black hole between the internet seller and the consumer, whether it be white glove delivery service or warranty, non-warranty work. So a lot of people are always intimidated by it, by the fact that most of our customers are in their 80s and they need the training, adjustment, and security of how to use the product. And what our goal is to increase their quality of life and provide independence.
That's awesome. And how long has the company been around?
So I've been in the industry, again, 38 years. I'm an old rookie in the industry, right? And but Di and I founded Mobility City in 2018. And we're happy to say that we sold 33 franchises in 27 months. What the key is we're trying to extend what is really a mom and pop industry, and we're trying to bring some uniformity and some national exposure to what we want to do out there.
Well, that is awesome. And I know you guys are growing. We see it all the time. And a lot of times when I ask this question, I will get the answer of everywhere, but are there markets in particular that are hot for you or that you're looking to expand to that our listeners would, want to know about? What markets are you trying to expand?
Yes, so obviously the Northeast is very big to us. We focus on the metropolitan statistical areas. We'd like to engage the candidate with 1 million to 3 million person populations. So, when I think about it, obviously the Northeast, the Southeast, the central part of the country, we're looking to get on the West Coast, but, we want to focus on sales and revenues and profitability and so on. So we're really not spreading ourselves too thin on the West Coast. But, when we think of markets, we were able to fill in our first 2 years, the Chicago market, the New York market, and the Dallas market. So there are plenty of markets available, and there are plenty of great opportunities out there and really, really nice sized territories for scale.
Well, I will second that. I'm in the Northeast and there's plenty of people here, so I can absolutely attest that you're doing right in terms of your strategy. Now, we're talking a little bit about expansions and, that type of thing. What about the qualities that you look for in a new franchisee? Can you elaborate a little bit on what makes a great franchise for you? A franchisee, what's their traits?
We have had such a different variety of people that have come to us looking for a business, and we train them, Alesia, so it really doesn't matter their background. We've had people that come from corporate. We've had people that have been flying for Delta Airlines. We've had people that have owned businesses before, haven't owned businesses before, and we train them. It's not hard. It's an easy training program. They come down to Florida for 5 days, and we do an extensive training. And then, of course, we're always there to support them 24/7. We have a lot of infrastructure behind us. And so we don't look for any particular type of a person. They can mold into Mobility City very easily.
Yeah, and just to second that, if you don't mind, we like the entrepreneurial spirit. Yes, we're in business, but there's a really strong, compassionate side to the business. I can't tell you how many people Di and I have interviewed, and they say, my sister was born with spina bifida. My brother has muscular dystrophy. My dad had a stroke. My mom had this, and I can relate to those kind of things. And those people, really care. So yes, the revenues are great. The business model is great. But, the biggest thing that we find is people, when they call in or they send in text or form requests, it's help or help me. That's what's on and that's got to grab the heart. So they have to really have that, that in them, that they want to help people.
Yeah, it's that concept of, doing well by doing good, right? Helping others to be successful, and that's the reward, right? And I would imagine that your brand does attract people who have that very caring and compassionate quality about them. Of course, anyone owning a business wants it, to do well and to produce the revenues. There's no doubt about that. Why else would people own a business? But I can see very much in the way that your brand would attract that. And, I also wanted to ask you about that. As for our audience, do they need to have a background, in the equipment field, or in that, can you shed a little bit of light and qualify on if they need to have experience in the specific category?
Actually not. So the bottom line is this: we want the owner to work on the business, not in the business. Now that being said, we want them to drive on the truck and understand what the truck does and how we handle, the diplomacy inside somebody's house. But the reality is that, the wheelchair, the hospital bed, the mobility scooter, once we train you on that, and, fixing one is like you can fix almost everything. So it all comes as a part of training. So obviously we want you to have some mechanical skills but besides that, it's based on training, and it's based on an individual wanting to be an entrepreneur and wanting to operate his business. And the bigger component is marketing to the local healthcare facilities in the area.
And I think for a lot of our audience, there's that aha moment, right? Because they are thinking, well, this sounds really interesting, but I don't have that background. And so we see they don't need to have the background. That's the whole concept of a franchise, right? To be in business for yourself, but not by yourself. And as you said, you have the training and the support for your franchisees to be successful. So I think for a lot of people, they're saying, wow, I should consider this brand because, again, I don't need to have the specific background in order to be successful. So thank you both for sharing about that. That's important. And I have another question for you. And this one's just a little bit out of the blue because, of course, you're a married couple working the business together. And we have seen so many couples who are going into franchising. It used to just be one or the other, and now we see couples, we see family. Are you seeing that as well? Do you see a different trend than maybe what you thought, what would attract for a franchisee? Because we see it as a whole.
Well, 11 of our franchises are husband-wife owned. And then we'll take it a next step further: husband, wife, son, and daughter.
Yeah.
And we've had 3 franchises pull their kids out of college and say, the heck with the 100,000 going to college. Mobility City is our future as a family. We had that up in Indianapolis. We have that in South Carolina. We have that in North Carolina, and so on, where families are getting involved, where the wife is playing the marketing role, the husband is working the business, on the business, sometimes in the truck. And then the son is definitely the technician in there, and the other daughter is doing marketing. So it's a family affair. We support that. We really, really like that. And Di, you could
Yeah, I'm just going to mention that yesterday I spoke to a person that's interested in purchasing a mobility city, and I can't stop telling the story. He said he has 10 children, 10 children from 3 to 30, and he needs to find a job for all of them, but not just a job. He wants them to have a business.
Yep.
And he likes our model, and we've had more family, as Vinny just said, that's interested in putting everybody together, and everybody has their own section of what they do, from the technician to the marketer to the person that's in the location. So it just seems to be, yeah. And a husband and wife is very popular for us.
I thought that might be the case because I certainly could see that with your brand. Now, 10 children, I wasn't prepared for, but
Right, neither were we.
That was a bit unusual.
But that's an amazing story. And again, I could see very much that happening. And that's why I asked the question. I could definitely see it. And, you know, it leads in a little bit to what I want to talk about next, going a little bit deeper and leaning in to talk about my favorite hashtag on social media, which of course is Franchise Strong. Now, I am very passionate about that concept, and I probably use Franchise Strong more on social media than even my own brands, the hashtags of my brands, because to me, Franchise Strong represents, you know, caring entrepreneurs. We come together to really help change people's lives. And so many people dream about being a business owner and owning their own business, and they don't know how to go about doing it. And here, franchising model is the perfect example. And, you know, by your own words, families coming into it. Again, talk about franchising strong and changing people's lives. I don't think there's a better example than that. So what I would really appreciate from both of you, if you could share with our audience what Franchise Strong means to you and to your brand.
Okay, thank you. Yeah, Franchise Strong is very important. It's important to the brand because we believe franchising is the right model for people to be successful. I've made 100,000 mistakes in the last 38 years, and I hope to gear that down to 100 mistakes for people coming into franchising. I always tell people, you know, that they're getting into a new industry. It's new terminology, it's new product, it's new systems, it's a new way of thinking about your business. And you know, Franchise Strong is sharing the business model with them, but hoping that they use our ingredients and they understand what we went through for all these years to be successful. So we're very, very big supporters of franchise, hashtag Franchise Strong. And we look forward to working with people.
Awesome. And Diane, let's hear a little bit from you too, because again, I always like to hear other people's ideas of what Franchise Strong is.
Well, I like to let the people know that we are available for them whenever they need us. And me being the CEO of the company, I tell them, this is my personal cell phone. I always have it with me. You might have a tiny little question. You might have a big question, a little problem, a big problem. And I tell them, you can call them. I don't care what it is. It's 24/7. I want to be there to support them because I think this is what they're buying, Alesia. They're buying support. Like Vinny said, it's a new industry. It's a new language. Everything's new. And if you have a question at a weird hour, I'm not saying that I have every answer because of course I don't, but I can get the answer in 10 minutes. Not in a week, not in 24 hours, but I can get you that answer to help you in 10 minutes so that you don't feel that you're struggling with your business. You feel like things are running smooth. And I feel that's the biggest part of becoming an owner of a franchise is that you have a support system behind you that's 24/7.
I will tell you, when both of you speak, the passion comes out very strong, right? So I hear that in just in you explaining your methods and your philosophy. And I will tell you, that makes such a huge difference in people because, you know, everyone, when they're looking at owning a franchise and going into business, they're excited, but usually they're overwhelmed at the same time. And
of course,
right? And everything comes up like that. So hearing your passion and your commitment to your brand and your franchisees comes through loud and clear on this. So
thank you.
I just wanted to give you kudos for that as well.
Yeah, thank you. We feel very, very, very confident and very strong about that.
It comes through very much so. And I will tell you, I know everyone's busy and I so appreciate your time. And I want to thank you so much for your FranTastic insights. Do you have any last words before we wrap up?
Yeah, we want to sell something in New Jersey.
We would love that.
That's my hometown. I'm from Essex County, New Jersey, and we've sold all the way out to Boulder, Colorado, and Texas, and coming soon to California. And I'm saying, how come we haven't gotten to New Jersey yet? So if anybody out there is listening and they have a client that they'd like to introduce for New Jersey, the whole state is open and available and so well needed. There's nothing like us there. Nothing.
I agree. It would be wonderful to have you here. There's certainly a need. There's certainly a need.
Thank you, Alesia. It was a privilege to be here today.
Oh, my pleasure. Absolutely. And I have to just say thank you and have a FranTastic day.
Thank you.
Same to you. Thank you very much.